Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Maria and I make personal development content here on YouTube. And so in today's video, I want to talk about 3 reasons why you cannot wait until tomorrow to start using your gifts. 3 reasons why, let me repeat it again, you cannot wait until tomorrow to start using your gifts, but you have to start using them today. Like no ands, ifs, or buts about it. God is telling you to use your gifts today. So, first, I wanted to start off by sharing this nice little quote that I heard someone say recently, and it really stuck with me. And I said, you know what? I have got to come on here and share this, number one. But then number two, it really got me to start thinking about like 3 reasons why the Bible speaks about like not waiting until tomorrow and reasons why we have to start today. Like as humans, we love talking about, oh, we'll just do something tomorrow. We love procrastinating and we love thinking like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow or I'll start next week. I'll start my healthy plan next week. I'll start my healthy eating next week. I'll start this next week or I'll start this tomorrow or, you know, I already messed up today or I already fell off track of how I wanted to start eating today or I already fell off track on fasting or not being on social media, whatever your goal was that you wanted to start today, and then you ended up falling off on it and you're like, you know what, I'll just wait until tomorrow. This is 3 reasons why you cannot wait until tomorrow. But first, let me share that quote. So the quote was, and I'm paraphrasing this, but it was ultimately saying, your job is going to pay you what they believe the position is worth. Your business and the business that you build will pay you what you actually are worth. And so that really got me to thinking, like I said, because practically or pretty much what it's saying is like, you are currently allowing a position to define your worth, like a position in someone else's company to define your worth, because they're only paying you what they believe that the position is worth within the company. It may not even be what the position is worth within the country. It actually just may simply be within this company. Like, we value your position within the company this much. And but when you start building your own business or you start using your own gifts to build your own business, you're actually going to get paid what you are actually worth, what God determines that you are worth, what God has placed and instilled in you in order for you to be able to create something beautiful for his purpose and for his kingdom. And so that is actually what you're worth. And so that got me to thinking about it. But anyways, without further ado, let me go ahead and get into the 3 reasons why God says you cannot wait until tomorrow to start using your gifts. Gotta start using them today. So the first reason why is because you cannot even think that you have tomorrow to use. I think a lot of times we actually don't realize how arrogant it is and how ungrateful it is to think that we actually have a tomorrow to be able to do what we can do today. And that doesn't necessarily mean that like tomorrow you won't be here on this earth. And that could possibly mean that too. But it also means that you may not have the same physical capabilities. You may not have the same mental capabilities. God forbid something was to happen to you. Things happen like this in a blink of an eye. So God forbid something happens and now you are not able to really serve in the way that you once were going to, or the way that you once were able to, because now you are maybe disabled, or you have like different ailments now that you're not able to really devote and serve the way you're supposed to and use your gifts the way you're supposed to. And so I think we sometimes get really caught up in like what we feel like doing. And the ultimate bottom line is that you don't get the chance to pick and choose what you feel like doing. You have got to do what you are capable and able to do today. Because let me tell you something, God did not give you these gifts for you to use them tomorrow. If He gave you the gifts today, like He doesn't just give us stuff just for like fun. Like, no, if He has given you these gifts today, That is because he wants you to use them today. Not for you to sit on them, not for you to wait for tomorrow, not for you to wait for next week, not for you to wait for next month. No, you have got to start using your gifts today. The reason why God has given you the gift today, the reason why God has given you the wisdom and the knowledge to know what your gift is today is because He wants you to use it today. He wants you to start operating in it today. You do not get to pick and choose based on how you're feeling when you want to serve and use the gifts that God has given you. You cannot choose that. Like, yeah, of course, physically you can choose that, but you don't get to decide, okay, I'm just going to wait until tomorrow. I'm going to wait until next week, whatever the case may be, because guess what? There is a possibility that you will not be able to do that. And so I think when we start to be able to really think about these things and be grateful of where we are today and our capabilities that we have today, and the fact that we are capable of being prosperous and using the gifts that God has given us today, then we start to look at things differently. We're actually coming from a more grateful place of God, thank you for even exposing these gifts to me. So it's like when you start to really think about it on a deeper level, you will understand why you cannot wait until tomorrow to use the gift that God has given you to use today. So, the second reason why you have to start using your gifts today is because there are people that need your gifts today because they are suffering today. Okay, so um, let me repeat that. There are people that need your gift today, this very second. The second while you're watching this video, they need your gift today, the gift that God has given you. They need it right now, like this second, because they are suffering right now in this second. So I just always like to think about this example because this is something that I'm currently going through this journey of. Again, I always talk about it in different videos, my journey of seborrheic dermatitis and my scalp. Oh my goodness. I had no idea that this thing was going to be like a true journey for me. I just had no idea. And it's something that I'm continuing to heal. And, I've been working with um, a holistic doctor who has been helping me with this whole process. But if my holistic doctor had decided to say, I'm not going to apply to school until tomorrow, or I'm not going to apply to learn how to get this certification and get this education and be able to help people, I'm going to just wait until tomorrow. She actually may not have ever been able to help me today. Because if she had waited for tomorrow, there's a possibility that the school was no longer accepting new students. There's a possibility that she may not have been able to afford to be able to leave her job and be able to pursue her career. There's a possibility of all these different things that could have happened. But had she, or she may have decided she changed her mind tomorrow. And in fact, that was actually the calling that God had for her. But she decided that she wanted to go based off of her feelings. And she didn't feel like having to go through school. She didn't feel like having to get this education. She didn't feel like doing these things, right? And so, because she chose to do the work that she needed to do that day, to start her process, she is now able to help me, someone who is suffering or who was suffering, right? And so I just think that that's just such a great example of like when God has called you to do something, you have got to start doing it today. Like there are people out here that need you. I mean, the journey that this scalp condition um has really put me on. Like physically, emotionally, mentally, all these things, right? And to feel like I had no other choice. I had tried to do it all by myself. I could not do it. I tried to do research. I could not figure it out. All those things. And had she decided, I'm just gonna wait until tomorrow, I'm just gonna wait till next week, and she kept postponing when she felt like doing something, when she felt like going to school, when she felt like helping out clients, when she felt like getting that education, that day might have never came. And I need her help and assistance because she has gotten the expertise to be able to help me through this. This is something that she is using as a purpose. She is helping heal people. And so when you have a gift that God has given you, he is not telling you that I have given you this gift for you to sit on it. There are people who are suffering today. They need you today. You cannot wait any longer. You cannot postpone it another day. You cannot wait another day. You cannot say, I'm going to do it next week. You cannot say, oh, I failed, so I'm going to try again tomorrow. You cannot say, oh, you know what? I just give up. You cannot give up. You have got to keep going, and you have got to know that at the end of the day, there are people out here that need your gift. Why do you think God gave you that gift? He didn't give you that gift because it's not purposeful. He didn't give you that gift because it does not need to be used. He didn't give you that gift because it's not of value. He gave you that gift for you to use it because it's very valuable. It's very needed. It's needed right now. It's needed today. And He is waiting for you to use it. And so that is the second reason why God says you have got to start using your gifts today, not tomorrow, today. So the third reason why God is saying you must start using your gifts today is because you can change your situation today. I think the biggest thing that some of us kind of get sometimes in our mind as far as doubt and concern and anxiety and worries is we say, yeah, I hear that all the time. I can change my situation, but like we don't truly believe that we can change our situation. And when you don't truly believe that you can change your situation, you're absolutely right. And you know why you're right? Because you're not even taking the time, you're not putting in the effort, you're not paying the attention that it needs, that you need in order to change your situation today, because you already have in your mind that it's not possible. And so when you already have in your mind that it's not possible, you're not going to be able to change your situation because you're not taking those steps. And so the other thing that I wanted to bring up about this is that story in the Bible about um, the Pharaoh and how this was like it's in Exodus. I think it's Exodus 3. I'm not for certain though, but it's the story about when God sent the frogs to Egypt because um, they refused to let the children of Israel go. Like they were slaves. The children of Israel were slaves to the Egyptians, and they refused to. God commanded to let the children of Israel go, and they would not allow them to go. So what God did was He sent a bunch of frogs to the land to completely just like drive those people, the Egyptians, crazy, right? And so finally, the Pharaoh gave up, and he's like, "All right, Moses," because God had sent Moses. The Pharaoh said, "All right, Moses, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and listen to God. Like I'm gonna let the children of Israel go." And so Moses is like, "Okay, cool. So when do you want to do this?" And the Pharaoh goes, "Tomorrow." What? So you suffering today, but you want to wait until tomorrow? You're suffering today, but you want to wait to change your situation tomorrow? That doesn't make sense. If you are really suffering today, if you are really going through those challenges and everything that you say you want to change and the situation that you say you want to change, you're going to do it today. And so God has instilled these gifts in you in order for you to be able to make the changes today so you can start to change your situation. But see, if you are going to sit in hard finances, If you are going to sit at a job that you can't stand, knowing that you ultimately want to be able to work for yourself, knowing that you ultimately want to be able to build your own business, knowing that you ultimately want to be able to coach people, knowing that you ultimately want to be able to cook for people, knowing that you ultimately want to be able to do hair, knowing that you ultimately want to be able to be a personal trainer, knowing that you ultimately want to be able to design clothes, knowing that you ultimately want to be a ghostwriter, knowing that you ultimately want to write books for people, knowing that you ultimately want to uh do whatever it is that God has placed on your heart. But yet you want to do these things, but not enough to start using your gifts today. And so the third reason is because God is saying you can change your situation today, but don't wait until tomorrow. If you're suffering today, don't wait until tomorrow. Start operating today because I've given you these gifts to use today. And so you can use your gifts right now. Hear this. You can use your gifts today to change your whole situation around. So for me, right, my gift is being able to coach people, being able to encourage people, be able to talk to people through their problems and give them advice and all these things, right? And so as I'm doing that, I'm able to be able to build my business and be able to build my clientele, right? And so that is then going to open up a door for me one day that I will not have to work a job anymore. And that will be my job. That will be my full-time job because I believe that and because I'm taking action in the gifts that God has given me. I'm not just using the gifts that God has given me to talk to my family, my friends. I'm doing that too, but I'm also expanding the knowledge and the wisdom that God has given me to start serving in his kingdom on a wider scale. So I'm coming on here and I'm talking to you. I'm coming on the phone and I'm talking to my clients. I'm going around and I'm talking to different people throughout the world that I come in contact from day to day. And in me doing that, and me serving, and me being obedient to God, and me using the gifts that he has given me, he is now elevating me and bringing me to those next levels. But the thing is, I'm not able to be able to see that happen. I'm not able to see my situation change if I don't change. And by me changing, that means that I must get out of my comfort zone. That means that I must get out of my fears. That means that I must get out of my doubt. That means that I must get out of my own beliefs and believe the kingdom. Believe the kingdom. Believe the king of the kingdom. That he is giving me these gifts. He has given me these gifts in order for me to serve for a greater purpose. Not tomorrow. So if you suffering today, don't wait till tomorrow. Like the Pharaoh talking about, oh, I'll just wait until tomorrow to release the children of Israel. When you suffering today, the frogs is running everywhere. Okay, think about the frogs. Think about the frogs in your life. Think about the things that are happening right now in your life that are really driving you crazy. That situation that is really driving you up a wall. You can't even sleep. Okay. They said in the Bible it talked about how, like, think about the laborer and she's over there trying to do this, that, and the third, or the cook who's trying to cook and she opened up her stove and there's frogs in there. Think about those frogs in your life that is just driving you crazy. Okay, think about those, and then now think about the fact that God has given you these gifts in order for you to start using them to change your situation around, and how you are actually allowing yourself to sit in the problems of life because you choose not to use your gifts today and you keep talking about tomorrow or next week and postponing it. So honestly, that's really it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to check out my description box down below. I'll have some links down there for you, and I will definitely be in the comments as always, responding to anything that you have to say or anything you would like me to speak about a little bit further. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.